Okay, I'm going to go fast because my phone has died like 20,000 times. As I have said throughout the Jewry, this little child, as he came to and fro, full merrily would sing and cry, O Alma Redemptoris evermore. The sweetness had his heart hath pierced so of Christ's mother, that to her to pray he cannot stint of singing by the way. Our first foe, the serpent Satanus, that hath in Jew's heart his wasp's nest, of swelled and said, O Hebraic people, alas, is this to you a thing that is honest, that such a boy shall walk in him lust, and you despite and sing of such sentence which is against your law's reverence. So he's mad. He's like, every single day this kid walks by the statue and he sings, and we don't believe in the Virgin Mary, so we don't think it's right, and so we need to do something about it. And he's so evil that he actually refers to him as Satan. From thenceforth, the Jewish have conspired this innocent out of the world to chase. They're going to kill him. A homicide thereto hath they hired, that in an alley had a privy place, as the child gained forby to his place. This cursed Jew him hent and held him fast, and cut his throat, and in a pit him cast. I say that in a wardrobe him they threw, whereas the Jewish purge in their entrail. O cursed folks of Herod's all knew. What make you evil intent to avail? Murder will out, certain it will not fail. And namely there the honor of God shall spread, the blood outcrieth on your cursed deed. Okay, this is gross. But they grab the kid, pull him in an alley, cut his throat open. Then they throw him in a wardrobe where they purge their entrails. So it's like a sewer. They throw him under the sewer system. And he says they're like cursed of Herod. They're so awful people. Then he says, O martyrs, sounded your virginity. So the kid's soul like was devoted to the Virgin Mary. Now mayest thou singing, follow ever the one the white lamb celestial, quoth she. Of what great evangelist St. John in Patmos wrote, which say that he had gone before this lamb and sing a song all new, that never fleshly women though he knew. So this virginal kid who is devoted to the Virgin herself, which is still kind of weird for this particular person to be telling the story, but the Virgin has now gone to the child and feels terrible about what's happened. This poor widow waiteth all that night in her little child, but he came not. For which, as soon as it was day's light, with face pale of dread and busy thought, she had at school him elsewhere him sought, till finally she gan so far espied that last he was seen in the Jewry. So mom's looking everywhere for a kid, cannot find him. With mother's pity in her breast enclosed, she goes, as she were half out of her mind, to every place where she has supposed, but likelihood her little child to find. And ever on Christ's mother meet and kind she cried, and at the last thus she wrought amongst the cursed Jews him sought. So she went everywhere. She went to everybody's home, to the school. She could not find her kid. She's so upset. She finally goes to where the Jews live. She fainteth as she prayeth piteously to every Jew that dwelt in thy place, to tell her if her child went out forby. They said nay, but Jesus of his grace gave in her thought, within a little space, that in the place after her son she cried, where he was cast in a pit beside. So she calls out and she passes by, and God tells her where her kid is. O great God, that performest thy laud by mouth of innocence, so low so they hear they might, this gem of chastity, this emerald and eke of martyrdom, the ruby bright, there he with throat carven lay upright, he Alma Redemptoris gained to sing so loud that all the place began to ring. So here's her kid in this sewer, cut throat wide open, blood everywhere, but yet he is still singing, and he's singing so loudly that she hears him. The Christian folk that through the street went and come in for to wonder on this thing, and hastily they for the provost sent, so they called the cops. He came anon without tarrying, and hearkened Christ that is the heaven king, and eke his mother honor of mankind, and after that the Jewess let he bind. So he goes and he arrests the guy who killed him. This child with piteous lamentation uptaken was, singing his song alway, and with honor of great procession. So they get the kid, still singing, and are going to bury him. They carry him up to the next abbey, his mother swooning with a briar lay. Uneath might the people that was there, this new Rachel bringing forth her biers. So another Christian biblical reference. With torment and with shameful death each one, the provost doth the Jewess for to starve, that of the murder wist, and that anon he would do so no cursed observe. Evil shall have what evil will deserve. Therefore, with wild horse he did them draw, and after that they hung them by the law. So before they hang the body, they take, that's the term for a quarter horse, they take the horses and they tie them 4 horses, one to each arm and one to each leg, and they drive the horses until it pulls the body apart. So that's what happens to the guy that kills the kid, and then they hang him because that's what the law said to do. Upon the bier where they're going to burn the boy, Ielias innocent, so little boy, before the chief altar which mass lasts, and after that the abbot with his convent have sped them for to bury him fully fast. And when the holy water on him cast, yet spoke this child, when spread with holy water, and sang, O Alma Redemptoris Mater. So they sprinkle him with water to consecrate his body so that they can bury him, and he starts to sing again. The abbot, the priest, which was a holy man, as monks been, or else ought to be, this young child to conjure he began, and said, O dear child, I house thee, in virtue of the Holy Trinity, tell me what is the cause for thee for to sing, since that thy throat is cut, to my seeming. My throat is cut unto my neck bone, said the child, and as by way of kind I should have died, yea, long time agone. But Jesus Christ, as you in books find, will that the glory last and be in mine, and for the worship of his mother dear, yet I may sing, O Alma, loud and clear. This well of mercy, Christ's mother sweet, I love always after my cunning, and when that I my life shall forlet, to her she came and bade me for to sing this anthem verily in my dying, as you have heard. And when I had sung me thought, she laid a grain upon my tongue. Wherefore I sing and sing must certain, an honor for thy blissful maiden free, till from my tongue off is taken this grain. And after that thus she said to me, My little child, now will I fetch thee with that grain